Welcome back. Let's return to our top story now, and warnings of a threat to life in Florida as Hurricane Milton barrels towards the U.S. state. Well, a tornado warning has also been issued across most of southern Florida as reports say at least 2 twisters have been spotted. The hurricane is expected to be so powerful that one weatherman had this response live on air. Just have a look.
Incredible, incredible hurricane. It has dropped 50 millibars in 10 hours. I apologize. This is just horrific.
And John Morales joins us now. John, I have to say, just watching that clip, which has now been watched so many times and has gone viral, it was so incredibly moving to see how you responded to something you understood so well and the kind of impact it would have on so many lives and livelihoods.
It's funny, to a degree, a little funny, because it's a very geeky, nerdy moment. I'm talking about millibars, and here I am breaking down on air because I'm talking about millibars, but it meant something to me, right? 50 millibars of barometric pressure drop into the center of a hurricane over the course of 10 hours means explosive intensification of the hurricane. And not only at that very moment, just before they punched me up to go on air, not only was it dropping the pressure that precipitously, but the hurricane was classified as a Category 5 right at that moment. So, it had been a mundane tropical storm the morning before, and it was noon on Monday, and suddenly it was a Category 5. It was just very impactful. And there's other things I can get into in terms of why I got the way I got, but I don't know how much time we have.
Yeah, I mean, no, we'd really like to know, because you were in that moment speaking about millibars, but also on a human level, we could almost understand why you reacted that way, because as you say, in that really nerdy way, you really understood, perhaps more than the rest of us, what was going on and what was about to hit.
Right. So, with the pressure drop, I knew it wouldn't stop at 160 mile per hour maximum sustained winds. I knew it was going to go for a higher value, and it ended up with 180. And thankfully, it's off of its peak right now. Listen, I've written about this in the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. You all can find those articles online, but they're very introspective, because I have realized that I have changed. I have always been known as the just the facts, non-alarmist weather presenter, meteorologist here in a television market, frankly, which Miami and Fort Lauderdale in South Florida is all about hyping up tropical threats. And I was always, swimming against that current and making sure people stayed calm. But here's the problem. Extreme weather events are multiplying. They're not only becoming more frequent, they're becoming more severe. We already know that there's a greater proportion of Category 4 and 5 hurricanes occurring around the world. In other words, there may not be a greater count of hurricanes and typhoons, but there's a greater percentage of them reaching these severe catastrophic levels, like Milton, like Helene, like Irma, like Dorian, like Harvey, like Maria. I mean, I can just go on, and all those names are just since 2017. So that angst, I think, drove me to that point, combined with frustration about being a climate communicator for decades, asking for action on climate, and then realizing that not enough has been done, and that therefore here we are, and look at these hurricanes go. And the last thing is just empathy. Just feeling for the future victims of the hurricane. I think there's some kind of psychological term for that, but I can't remember. Anticipatory grieving, maybe. It was just feeling for what's coming and people's lives being wrecked.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it was incredibly powerful, moving, and people really did react to the way that you reacted in that very human moment. John, thank you so much for joining us here on the program.
Thank you.